Dreams that have been realized. It is not impossible for someone's dream to be realized. And the following have realized their dreams in Raisin in the Sun. All Walter's dream is to buy a house for the younger family. And Mama tells Walter it is honorable and dignified to come back home and get into a house that rightfully belongs to you. When Mama receives the money from the insurance, from the check, without consulting any member of her family, she goes straight to buy a house for the youngest at Clybourne Park, thereby achieving or realizing her husband's dream. Through this house, she succeeds in keeping her family together. Earlier on in the play, Ruth had returned to announce that she is pregnant and she wants to abort the baby. And Mama had thought that Walter would stand up to his responsibility to stop her from aborting. But Walter does not say a word because he is not financially viable to give any command. And Mama had also realized that because of poverty and misery, Walter does not pay much attention to Ruth. Thereby buying this house, which looks more comfortable, Mama believes that she can keep her family together, which is Mama's greatest dream. And so when she comes back home after buying the house, she sits Travis and tells him, I am just coming from buying a house, and this house will be yours in the future. Benita and Ruth are not happy about the apartment in which they live in. It is full of cockroaches. It is full of poverty. There is inadequate accommodation. When Ruth comes and tells the family that she is 2 months pregnant, Benita asks if the child will live on the roof, thereby creating a bit of conflict. And their dream is to move out of their apartment at Chicago's South Side, which reminds them of their miserable lives and the frustration to which they have been subjected to. And therefore, when Mama announces that she has bought an apartment house, they are happy. And the situation or the location of the house does not bother them much, because all they dream is to leave the younger apartment. Ruth says when she gets to that apartment, she will spend more than an hour taking a hot bath. And when she comes back, she tells Ruth that she has just bought new curtains to tell you how much she looks forward into moving out of the house. When Benita sprays the cockroaches, she says the best thing that can happen to this house is to burn it down, to show her frustration of living in such a house which is not comfortable. At the end, their dream is realized despite the warning from Mr. Carl Lindner, because the younger family moves out to occupy the house which rightfully belongs to them. Ruth dreams of having back the husband that she had married. It seems like Walter's attempt to make money has drifted him away from his wife, and they don't seem to share the intimacy that they used to share before. And Ruth complains. Mama tells Walter, take care of Ruth, else you'll be losing a nice, beautiful woman. When Mama realizes that her son is undergoing a depression, when she refuses to hand over the money to him, she hands him the money, which gives him back his confidence. And there are changes in the manner in which Walter thinks and behaves. He takes Ruth to the cinema, and despite the cold and the lateness of the night, they hold hands and walk back slowly home. He dreams of investing, and that investment is geared towards giving his wife the best things of life and to give Travis a good education. Asagai dreams of becoming educated. He wishes that if he gains education and goes back to Nigeria, he will be able to put into good use his education to help in the development of his community. And by the end of the play, he achieves his dream of being educated and wishes to go back to Nigeria. But this time he wishes not to go back alone. He proposes marriage to Benietta. He wishes to take her there so that she can become a doctor in the community. Unfortunately, Mama believes that Benietta is still young to consider the option of marriage. It should be noted in the context of the play that the youngest dream has been achieved, the dream of ownership. The house which Mama buys at Claiborne Park, which Mrs. Johnson believes that she is a woman who wants to climb up the social ladder. But on the contrary, Mama says she had bought the house at Claiborne Park because of affordability. What matters is that the youngest will be moving into a house that rightfully belongs to them. Mama will have space behind to do her gardening, and Travis will have space to sleep and space to play. Because Mama's greatest intention is to keep that one thing that's very important to her together and to treat them with love, highlighting compassion, love. And we can see from Mama's action that she is a selfless woman. Because even when she receives the money, she does not put that money to her personal use. Everything is about her family, and everyone is considered, the general family is considered through the house. There is part of the money she keeps for the running of the family, which she entrusts in the hands of Walter. And above all, she keeps a particular amount of money to cater, particularly for Benietta's medical education.